Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome back to Ready for Camera channel. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to talk about our likes and dislikes in English, of course, across different Cambridge levels like B1 preliminary, B2 first, and C1 advanced. We'll also look at some examples I've taken from an article I wrote for you. But before we start, remember to subscribe and join our Ready for Cambridge community for handy and useful material. So let's get started. To effectively communicate, understanding how to express your preferences is really important. Whether you are preparing for one of these Cambridge exams or simply improving your English, knowing a variety of expressions can definitely help. Let's talk Cambridge exams now. No matter the level, be it B1, B2, or C1, or even the part of the speaking exam, here we've got the first part, the interview, the second, the long turn, the third, which is the collaborative task, and the last one, the discussion section. Please do expect to talk about your likes and dislikes. Take part one, for instance, the interview. I'm going to show you some questions taken from oral speaking exams, from sample tests. Let's see what they all have in common. Here is a list of questions taken from B1 preliminary sample tests. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Tell us about a sport or game you really like. Where do you like to go at weekends? Or which TV programs do you enjoy watching? Free time, weekends, entertainment, and sports. You are talking about your preferences. Let's move on and see some questions taken from B2 sample tests. Do you prefer to spend time with your family or with your friends at the weekend? What do you like about celebrating special occasions? What would you like to learn in the future? Do you like to be busy every day? So, special occasions, future plans and routine, family and friends, no matter the topic, what you should talk about is expressing likes and dislikes. And here are some questions taken from advanced sample tests. What's your favorite weekend activity? What hobby or interest do you remember enjoying as a child? Do you prefer to get the news from newspapers, television, or the internet? Do you like to give yourself aims or targets? Childhood habits, social media, or goals in the long run? Once again, preferences are in the limelight. Let me introduce 11 candidates to you. 11 candidates taking a Cambridge exam today. Which level? At this point, it does not matter, as the first part in any Cambridge exam, the interview, so in this part, be it B1, B2, C1, or even C2, as we have already seen, you are being interviewed about your life. So this part is simply an icebreaker. You are not being assessed. However, what does matter is the way our candidates answer. The choice of their words and the range of expressions. This is what mirrors each candidate's level from the very start of the exam. I'm going to show you 5 scenarios. We'll first have 4 pairs of candidates, then a group of 3, since we've got an odd number of candidates in today's oral Cambridge session. Each one will be asked a question. Let's listen to their answer and together identify each one's level. By the way, Each of these 11 candidates is unique. They've got their own interests and preferences, and that's so beautiful. So, let's see how each one expresses their preferences. Meet the first pair of candidates, Sarah and David. Sarah is a beach bum. I mean, someone who spends most of their time having a good time on the beach. Here is the question she is asked: Sarah, what do you usually do on weekends? And here is what she answers: On weekends, I really enjoy going to the beach. I love surfing and playing beach volleyball with my friends. It's a lot of fun and helps me relax. I also like to just lie on the sand with a good book while listening to the waves. Sarah has used the following expressions: I really enjoy, I love, I like. So, what level has she shown with these expressions? Yes, that's a B1 level. Let's move on and see how David answers his question. And here is David, the cinema goer, the person who regularly goes to watch films at the cinema. Well, here is the question the examiner addresses to David. David, tell us about a hobby you enjoy. And here is David's answer: I'm really into watching movies. I get a real thrill from going to the cinema and seeing new films. Recently, I've been really into independent films and documentaries. It's great to discuss them with friends afterwards and even read some reviews online. The expressions David has used are the following: I get a real thrill from, I've been really interested in, and I'm really into. What level of proficiency has David shown? You're right, a sound B2 level. Let's hear now from our second pair of candidates, Emily and Sharon. Emily is a gourmet. Let me better pronounce it in French: gourmet. I mean, someone who knows a lot about food and cooking, and besides, someone who enjoys eating high quality food. Here is the question Emily's been asked. What a coincidence! She was asked about food. Emily, what kind of food do you enjoy the most? And here is what Emily answers: I get a lot of pleasure from trying out different cuisines. I'm a massive fan of Italian food, especially pasta dishes. I also enjoy experimenting with new recipes at home, and cooking is something I find both relaxing and exciting. Well, what expressions has Emily used? Here they are: I get a lot of pleasure from, I'm a massive fan of, I enjoy, and cooking is something I find, she said, relaxing and exciting. What level has Emily shown? Again, a good B2 level. Congrats, Emily. Let's hear now from Sharon. Sharon is a city slicker. A city slicker? Yeah, this is someone who lives in a city, of course, and has no experience of or any knowledge about living in the countryside. Are you a city slicker? Well, here is what Sharon is asked. Sharon, do you prefer living in the city or the countryside? Why? And here is what she answers: I much prefer living in the city. I can't imagine my life without the hustle and bustle. There is always something to do, whether it's going to new restaurants, attending events, or just walking around and exploring different neighborhoods. I'm hooked on the energy of the city. Which are the expressions Sharon has used? Here they are. I much prefer, I can't imagine my life without, and I'm hooked on. With this range of expressions, Sharon has shown a B2 level of proficiency. Good job, right? Meet Diana and Alex. Diana is a traveler. There is another word for that defines people like Diana. Yeah, Diana is a globetrotter. As you have already understood, she is someone who often travels to a lot of different countries. Here is the question Diana is addressed. Diana, do you enjoy traveling? What a question for a traveler. Well, it's a coincidence. And here is what she says: I love traveling. I've always been fascinated by different cultures and new places. Recently, I've been to Japan, and it was an amazing experience. The food, the people, the scenery were all incredible. I can't imagine my life without exploring such destinations. The expressions Diana has used are the following. As you see, all except I love, which is a B1 level, are so the other two I've always been fascinated by, and I can't imagine my life without. These two expressions show that Diana's reached a B2 level of expression. Good, right? Let's hear now from Alex. What is that defines him? Diana is a globetrotter. What about him? He is an early riser or an early bird, just like me. Someone who gets up or arrives early, or someone who does something before other people do. Here is the question the examiner asks him: Alex, what do you like to do in the mornings? And here is what he says: I'm definitely an early riser. I get the real thrill from starting my day early and making the most of the mornings. I usually go for a run or do some yoga, and then I enjoy a nice breakfast while reading the news. I'd much rather wake up early than sleep in, as this is what really sets a positive tone for the rest of my day. The two expressions Alex has used are these ones: I get the real thrill from, and I'd much rather. I do like these expressions and the way he has put together his answer. So, the level he has shown while answering this simple question is B2. Fantastic. And here is our fourth pair of candidates, Claire and Jane. Claire is a culture vulture. I mean, someone who is into music, art, and theater. The question Chloe is addressed is the following: Claire, do you enjoy visiting museums and galleries? I've got the feeling that as a culture vulture, Claire is gonna come up with an amazing answer. Let's listen to her. I'm an avid museum goer. I get a lot of pleasure in exploring art galleries and historical sites. I've always been drawn to cultural activities because they give me a deeper understanding of the world. And what was an extraordinary experience for me was visiting the British Museum. The expressions Claire has used: I'm an avid museum goer, she said. I get a lot of pleasure in, and I've always been drawn to. They show a C1 level of proficiency in English. Congratulations, Claire. If Claire is a culture vulture, what about Jane? Jane is an eager beaver. She is someone who is willing to work very hard. The question Jane is asked is the following: Jane, do you like keeping busy with activities and tasks? And here is her answer: I'm really keen on staying busy. I'm interested in having a packed schedule and being productive, as I find it quite satisfying to finish tasks and set new goals. Jane has started with I'm keen on, which shows a B1 level of English, and then moved on higher to use I'm interested in, and I find it quite satisfying, she said, right? Well, overall, until now, Jane has shown she has reached a B2 level in English. Lastly, we have our group of three candidates. They are Sue, Eve, and Pam. Sue is a shopaholic. I mean, someone who enjoys shopping very much, does it a lot. The question Sue is asked is the one in front of you. Sue, what do you like to do in your free time? And here is what Sue is saying. In my free time, I really enjoy going shopping. And I'm really keen on finding the latest fashion. And I'm also interested in buying clothes, shoes, and different accessories. I find it quite exciting to look for good deals, great bargains, and new styles. The expressions Sue has used, here they are, I really enjoy, I'm interested in, and I find it quite exciting, I think she said. Well, these three expressions are referring to Sue's preferences, show that she has reached a B2 level in English. Again, good job. Let's hear from Eve now. You won't believe it. She is a daredevil. I mean, a person who does dangerous things and enjoys taking risks. What the speaking interlocutor asks Eve is the following: Eve, what kind of activities do you enjoy? And here is what she says: I love adventurous activities. I'm a bit of a daredevil, as I'm really keen on things like rock climbing and skydiving, and I find it quite thrilling to try new and exciting adventures. My friends even say that I've been bitten by the adventure bug. Bitten by the adventure bug? What a beautiful expression. This one, together with their other three phrases, I'm a bit of a daredevil, I'm really keen on, and I find it quite thrilling, she said. Well, all these expressions show that Eve has got a C1 level of English proficiency. Brilliant. Meet Pam, our third candidate. Pam is a bookworm. I mean, a person who reads. I would also use the word bookish. Pam is a bookish person. She enjoys reading books, especially serious books. The question Pam is asked is the one in front of you. How do you usually spend your weekends? And here is what Pam says. On weekends, I love to read. I have a soft spot for reading, and I'm really interested in historical novels and mystery ones. I find it quite relaxing to sit down with a good book, just like a good old friend. I'm also fond of visiting bookstores and discovering new authors. Pam has started with the expression I have a soft spot for, which is a C1 level expression. Then moved on to use I'm really interested in, and I find it quite relaxing if I remember well, showing a B2 level of expression, and finished with the phrase I'm fond of, which is a high B1 level. Overall, Pam has shown she controls English at a B2 level, well, for the time being. And that's all for today's lesson. To learn more expressions and practice using them, check out the full article linked in the description, expressing likes and dislikes across Cambridge English levels. Remember to join our Ready for Cambridge community and share it with your friends for handy and useful material. Hang on a second. Why don't you rewind the video and try to answer the questions addressed to our 11 candidates using the expressions I've shown? Practice expressing your likes and dislikes with confidence. Well, let's call it a day. See you next time. Bye.